What's up, everybody? In this video, we are going to add a text message node to our flow. This will enable us to send the data from the Openweather API to our phone as a text message. A text message is a more personal experience, meaning that when we send a message, we want to ensure that the content is important and only send a message if necessary. Ensure you have Node-RED running and open it in a browser. You should see our previous flow we created. We are going to build our content within this workspace. That way, we can see how each is working and compare the different workflows. We will need to download and install the Twilio node to send a text message. Click the hamburger menu in the top right corner. Select Manage Palette. In the window that slides out, select the Install tab. With the Install tab selected, search for Twilio. Click on the Install button. If you see a pop-up warning, just go ahead and click Install. If all goes well, you should see a green message indicating the nodes have been installed. If you scroll down the nodes on the left-hand side, you will see under the title Mobile, the Twilio Out node. Drag a Twilio Out node onto the dashboard. Double-click the Twilio Out node. Click the pencil icon next to Add New Twilio-API. I have provided my credentials to Twilio on Blackboard. If you plan to use this on your own, you will need to sign up for your own account. Click Update. Next, enter the phone number you want to send a text message to and click Done. Drag the Twilio node to the email template. Click Deploy. Click the Inject node. You should see that you receive a text message and an email. Cool. Now is a good time to look at our messaging and decide what would make sense. While we could send both an email and text, it might make more sense to only send a text message with information that is useful. Let's have a look at the API documentation and see if there's anything we could use. If you have a look at the weather conditions, each has a separate code. We can use these codes to make decisions with our program. For example, anything with a weather condition in the 200s means a thunderstorm, or anything in the 500s means rain. Last, anything in the 600s is snow. Let's use this information and add a switch function to only send a text message if the forecast is for thunderstorms, rain, or snow. Drag a switch node onto the workspace. Double-click the switch node. We want to check the weather ID and compare it to the numbers listed in the API documentation. Look in the debug node and you will see the ID property. Copy the path and paste it in the property input. Next, we will check the value and compare it to the API documentation. Click the down arrow next to the equals sign and change it to is between. Enter the values 200 and 232. Click Add and create another rule that checks if the value is between 500 and 531 for rain. Click Add and create another rule that checks if the value is between 600 and 622 for snow. Click Done. Now we want to create a template for the first text message. Drag a template onto the workspace and connect it to the switch node. Double-click on the template. Change the name to Text Message. In the template, type Weather Alert. Tomorrow's forecast calls for open curly brace, close curly brace, period. Inside the curly braces, we will put the weather description. Copy the link and paste it inside the curly braces. Remember, in handlebars templates, we don't need the brackets, so delete those. Click Done. Drag a debug node onto the workspace and connect it to the text message template. We can use an inject node to test for the conditions. Drag an inject node onto the workspace and connect it to the switch node. Double-click the inject node. Since we are reading the weather ID in the switch statement, we will use the inject node to create a value. Paste payload.weather open bracket 0 close bracket .id into the first input box and add a number of 200. We will also populate a description as well. Paste payload.weather open bracket 0 close bracket dot description and enter thunderstorm with light rain. Click Done, click Deploy. Click the Inject node and you will see in the debug window our text message. This is simulating if there was a value of 200. You can try other values as well to test. Last, disconnect the Twilio node from the email template and connect it to the text message template. Connect the switch node to the set.msg.payload from the email flow. Click Deploy. Click the Inject node. You will get an email with tomorrow's forecast and a text only if there will be rain, snow, or a thunderstorm. Now we have an automated process that will load the Weather API every day at 9 p.m. It will always send an email, and if there's going to be rain, snow, or a thunderstorm, then it will send a text message about severe weather. At the end of this video, you should be able to send a text message to someone if there are severe weather conditions.